Most students start the year without a plan, treat the first few months as a grace period, and end up in a total panic by the end of December. I don't want that to happen to you. So in this video, I am breaking down the exact 3-phase roadmap that you need from June to February to stay ahead of syllabus, handle the intense juggle of ISC prep, and finish the year strong. So let's get started with the video, shall we? Right now, you have 8 months before your Class 12 board exams. I know it feels like a long time, but in between school labs, project submissions, pre-boards, and for most of you balancing competitive coaching on the side, the 8 months will vanish before you know it. So I have put together a PPT which contains everything that I'll be talking about in this video, and I will also be sharing the slides on top here as I'll be going through the PPT. So let's get started. So I have divided, as I said, the entire 8-month process into 3 main phases. The first phase is from June to September. I will explain what each of these phases mean as we move forward into the video. So the first phase is from June to September. The second phase is from October to December. And the third and last phase is from January to mid-Feb. Phase 1, which is from June to September, that is 4 months, is the most crucial time of your preparation, because in this period we will be focusing on 100% syllabus coverage, be it whatever subject that you have chosen: physics, chemistry, math, English, computer, biology, or psychology. You need to be done with the entire syllabus by the end of September. Alongside, you also need to focus on your lab practicals, that is salt analysis and titration for chemistry, optics and resistance and potentiometer circuits for physics. You need to start strong so that moving ahead alongside your school exams, it becomes easier for you to manage your lab practicals. During this phase, what I want you to do is to make proper notes. In the class, while your teachers are teaching, make sure you write running notes and come back home, go through the topic at home and make additional points to the notes that you've already done. Don't keep multiple books, keep one single book per subject and make crystal clear notes so that it will be helpful for you in the future. ISC syllabus is very vast, so you cannot go through the entire thick book before your pre-boards. So make sure that your notes are short, crisp, and contains only the important points so that it will help you in the final revision before your exams. Coming to the lab practicals, be very attentive in classes so that you won't have a tough time just before your board practicals. ISC board practicals are usually in the month of November and December. That means during your pre-board time. So at that point of time, you would have to juggle pre-boards and lab practical, whatever you need to know, side by side, which is going to be tough. So it will be better if you learn them right now properly so that it will be easier for you in the future. Coming to phase 2, which is between October to December. This is your submission and revision pivot. During this period is when your teachers will start asking you to submit your projects. So be very sure to present your projects well and prepare yourself for vivas. During my batch, I had viva for math, and for commerce students, you have it for business studies and few other subjects as well that I'm not sure of. But for science students, math and bio, and I think psychology as well, you have vivas. So prepare very well because they will ask questions related to the topic that you've covered as well as what you've written in the project. And make sure the project looks well because it is an external examiner that will be grading you for this and not your school teachers. Secondly, take lab revision seriously. As I said before, it is very, very important that you understand the concept properly and the procedure on how you do the practicals, because in physics, especially during optics and potentiometers, there are slight errors that happen in the instruments. So you need to know how to rectify them and how to manage if you get a slight errored instrument during your board practicals. So make sure you clear all your doubts, you attend them regularly, and you do the readings properly without taking help of your friends, so that you can pace up your speed faster and understand them properly. Thirdly, the second part, what I was saying, the revision pivot, this October to December is called the revision period, because by September you would be done with your 100% of syllabus. So right now you need to start the revision cycle. That is, between October and December you need to finish at least minimum of 2 full rounds of revision of the whole syllabus, because during this time I think you'll have your midterms and other exams. So between that you would have started your preparation. So alongside, make sure that you're revising the previous topics as well, so that you don't forget them. So minimum 2 full rounds of revision is required. Then ISC has something called CFQs, which is competency focused questions. You will find them in the CISC website. It started a few years ago, I guess. We had it for our year as well. What these competency focused questions are is the application based question or the higher order based questions. So it will be updated in the CISC website. If it hasn't been updated for your batch yet, please do check the item bank, I think it is on the website. Go to that and check the previous year, which is 2026 batch CFQs. Go through them as you're revising your syllabus, so that not only do you revise with PYQs, make sure that you pay attention to this as well, because all the board papers, no matter what the subject is, there will be CFQ questions that will, it makes you think a lot. So it will be better if you're prepared to such questions. Next, make a checklist to keep track of your syllabus. This is something I did personally, and it has helped so much, especially if you're someone who has been managing coaching on the side as well. You need to have a proper timetable where you're finishing your coaching syllabus as well as ISC syllabus. Most of the people see your board marks, but I'll come to that later. But then if you're focusing on scoring really good in your boards, then you need to make sure you have everyday revision for your core subjects, especially maths and physics. Chemistry has a lot of equations, so you need to make sure that you're writing them and practicing them every day. So depending on what your strengths and weaknesses are, make sure you plan your weekdays and weekends properly, and you maintain a checklist to see, okay, I have completed this and this every day, weekly track, monthly track, so that it will help you see your progress as well. So this is something I did personally, and it has helped me a lot, so I would suggest you to do the same as well. During this time, you will also have your board practicals. If you want a detailed video on how to target that, let me know in the comments below and I will make a separate video on that. Now, coming to phase 3, which is the final phase, the final sprint of your 8-month journey. This is between January to mid-Feb. So early January is called the self-audit period. Why is this called the self-audit period? Is because you would have already given at least one pre-board exam by this time. So you would have covered an exam like the board type for the entire syllabus. So you would have an understanding on what your weak chapters are, what your strong chapters are. You will have a good understanding on where you stand, correct? So take a pen, take a book, make sure you note down what your weak chapters are and what your strong chapters are. Give more time to making your weak chapters better, and keep giving a little bit time on the strong chapters as well, so that you don't lose you don't forget whatever you know about the strong chapters, because that is very important as well. Second, the pre-boards, treat them as the actual final exam. I have seen so many friends who used to take the study leaves before pre-boards very lightly, thinking, okay, we'll get 10 days before boards, we'll study then. Please do not do that. Keep the 10 days for something, for like extra revision. At this point, make sure you complete at 90% of revision, how much ever you can, because you will mostly get 1 or 2 days leave before each exam. That is not the case in the final exam. So for pre-boards, you actually need to understand, strategize and manage your time very well. So treat them as the final exam, give it like a mock exam, and make sure you don't take it very lightly. Every year there is a certain weightage for each chapter. You don't have to treat all the chapters equally. Then your revision is actually complete. Obviously, concept revision is also important, but make sure during this period, that is January to mid-Feb, solve PYQs. Trust me, it will help you a lot. Coming to February, that is only half a month before your board exam. So for Feb, the strategy is subject-centric deep dives. Keep 1 to 2 days for physics or math or like a core subject. Finish the entire revision properly before your board exam starts. In between, include a light subject like English, computer, psychology, like 1 to 2 hours each day, so that your brain shifts from subject to subject and you don't get burnt out. So these are the 3 phases that I've broken down as simple as I could. Now coming to the next most important part, that is ISC and coaching. So is it worth it? There is really 2 sides to a coin in this situation. First, let me give you a reality check. ISC syllabus is vast. You have so much of syllabus to cover, you have to practice so many kind of questions, and as I said, the 8 months are not enough for you to be giving your 100% both in ISC and coaching. English is a compulsory subject for your percentage calculation, and you have both literature and language, and you have to do exceptionally well in both of them. Only then your percentage will be good. English is the make or break of your final percentage. Third, self-study time congestion. As I said, you come home late, then you have your coaching, you have very less time for self-study that you have to break down between coaching and ISC. You can go for balancing both ISC and coaching if and only if you can manage the time for both. That is, if you find that, okay, I'm doing well in ISC, I'm doing well in coaching, I can focus on both, only then go for it. Secondly, you are confident about JEE or NEET. What I mean by this is, you are totally into the focused preparation of JEE or NEET, whichever you're going ahead with, and you want to focus only on that. Thirdly, you are not relying on board marks. As I said, for JEE you just need 75% in boards. If you are targeting only that, and you don't want to score like in 90s or 95s in ISC, and you're pretty much okay with how much ever percentage you score, and your main focus is JEE or NEET, then you can go ahead for it. Honestly, it's a personal choice. For me personally, I did take coaching in 11th grade, and I was also taking part in school events, so I really did not get time for self-study, and my marks dropped very bad, and it took a mental toll on me, a physical toll on me. And then I decided what's more important for me. I looked at my plans, and then I made sure that I dropped coaching and I put my entire focus on ISC. That is the only reason why I was able to score. But I also have friends who have focused both in ISC and coaching and did exceptionally well in both. So honestly, it is up to you. If you feel it is worth it, you can manage both of it, then go ahead with it. But you would actually have to sacrifice a lot of your social life. So if you're ready to do it for the next 1 year, then go ahead, you have all my support. But for me personally, it did not work, so I just chose ISC over coaching. This was just part 1 of a series that I am shooting. I know I cannot cover the entire problems that a student faces during the 12th board in just one single video. So I have planned on making this as a series, making multiple videos, so that I can go in depth into each topic and help you guys out. If you guys want me to focus on any specific topic, put it down in the comments below, and I will make sure that I will address it in the next video. If you like this video, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Share it with your friends so that it can help them as well. I'll see you in the next one. Until then.